So People in Progress was a great facility that existed in the Freehab location prior to us locating that facility. People in Progress existed for about 40 years, serving the same population that we'll be serving, only they focused on homeless men, and we'll be focusing on primarily youth.
They're remodeling the whole building. They've torn up the floor, the ceiling. Well, they still got the ceiling tiles, but they're reconstructing the whole building from what it originally was, which was the original People in Progress.
I grew up in the system and aged out to homelessness and was addicted to heroin and became a prostitute and was almost killed on the street at the age of 23. And at that point, when my life turned around, I started taking in foster children, and I thought my life was going to be a stand for the other kids that are still out there.
I started using alcohol at the age of 7. At the age of 13, I started shooting heroin. At the age of 14, I was arrested for 4 counts of sales of heroin, and my family sent me to Mexico. And when I came back, I had a history of wanting to do something different with my life. I just kept on finding myself, using heroin, going in and out of jails, going in and out of prison. At 22, I went to prison for 3 armed robberies, use of a weapon. I got out, and a year later, after doing 5.5 years, I was released, and a year later, I was back in prison again because of my drug abuse, my alcoholism.
And I'm answering phone calls where mothers are actually crying, calling for help for their kids. So that right there, got me, took me back. And also the dropping clients that would come in with nothing, have nowhere to shower, nowhere to eat. They would come in here and wait patiently for a shower, have a snack. Those that wanted help, we would give them a referral.
The monies weren't coming in a timely fashion, meaning that we had to draw from all kinds of different ways just to give the services. And that kept us from treating or being able to be a full service to the individuals that came in. And that's what it was all about.
Basically, when the facility closed, I would still show up because I felt like I lost my home. And it was one of those places that you grow and attach to. And I would show up like mostly every evening, and I started seeing all these tents in front of the building. A lot of homeless started sleeping out front, mobile homes, people building tents. When a facility closes, that people still flock to that facility, looking for the help that's needed.
I believe that in the future that someone's going to come and open this building up and allow God's Spirit to live here so that other people could have the same opportunity that we had. And then I heard about Freehab, and when they heard about Freehab, I said, once again, man, this place, this building that was so special and dear to my heart was going to be allowed to have the presence, the spiritual presence that people long for and need in their life. And I remember about a year ago, me and my son drove by here, and it was in the evening time, my 8-year-old. And he says, and the lights were off and the doors were closed. And he says, Dad, I feel like crying because the place looks like it's not alive anymore.
So I know what it's like to have no self-worth. I know what it's like to have nothing to even draw on, to even want help as a human being. But when someone believes in you and you start to believe in yourself, you find that there's a light that turns on inside of you, and there's hope and there's belief in yourself like there's never been before.
Right now, currently, I work at the Midnight Mission, and working at the Midnight Mission where the homeless population is the #1 homeless population in the United States has given me an outlet to be able to express my experience, my strength, and my hope because of what I went through here in treatment. And one addict helping another is without parallel, and my family, everyone knows, and my son, that this was an integral part of my life. And if I never had the opportunity to come into a place like this, I never would have been able to be a father, to be a son, to have a job, to be a positive influence to other people in the community.
So people have said all along, how can you do this? How can you start an organization with just a couple of people and really make an impact? And I believe that in Africa, when a child's parents die of AIDS, the village comes around them, the community, and raises that child, and the village becomes aunties and uncles. And I believe we have aunties and uncles right here in America, all over the place, that want to help our kids. And our job is to engage their hearts and their minds into the vision that these children could be our future leaders.
I met Lori through my boss now, actor, former Danny Trejo, major star. She asked him to come out and speak to these kids in Venice at the Teen Project. And one Christmas we went out there, we made an appearance. He spoke to all these kids. We had Christmas dinner, they had food. You know, any place that got food, I'm in, you know. So it's a big incentive to always have food. And, you know, I met Lori, she gave me her book, I read her story, and it's all basically revolves around the lifestyle that we come from as a user. You know, somebody that's been addicted to drugs and have lived that lifestyle along the way. Those trials, those bad times, and seeing what we become and what we do with other people, it changes the world. You know, it changes a lot of people's way of thinking. And just by us going out there and having my boss speak to these kids, it was overwhelming. And we stood in contact with her, and I seen what she did with those kids. And they all loved her, and she was like glowing. You know, when I first met her, she was glowing. And she always has that smile, and there was a connection there. I didn't know why or how, but now I do.
So people say to me all the time, you're such an angel taking in all these kids, because I've had 30 foster kids to date. And that never resonated with me, because I get more out of helping them than they could ever get out of me. Because to see a kid come into my house broken and dark and have no hope and so scared that they want to ask me if they can get something out of the fridge or ask me if they can use the restroom. I mean, what kind of world did they live in that they can't just get up and get something to eat? I mean, that's not how we live in our houses. So to take these kids and provide them with what is just the normal life for any of us is just like such a blessing for them. They are so grateful for every little thing they get, because they had nothing. And I think to see a child come in broken and wounded and scared, and then to see them light up and start to laugh, and their personality starts to bloom, and then to have dreams, to be a doctor, to be a lawyer, whatever they could think of, just to dream. And then to see them enroll in college. I mean, I've had a couple of kids that came into me so broken, and I was there when they were at their college interview, and the tears just start to roll, because they never thought that this was possible for them. Because when foster care ends, it's supposed to end. They see what happens out there. They see the homeless kids. They give up on their dreams if they ever even thought of having dreams. So to sit in a college interview and to have a chance to be at college with normal kids, you have no idea what that's like until you get to be there.
I am imagination.